today I'm going to be showing you the Retron 5 and what I think of it. I just bought this the other day for $140 at a game exchange, but I got it brand new. The plastic, not plastic, the tape has never been cut off of it, and everything was still sealed. And I hate this plastic. First of all, I think the company should stop using this shiny plastic that gets fingerprints all over the place and scratches everywhere. Because when I took it out of the box, it was scratched up, but that wasn't really Game Exchange's fault. It was just because the plastic is like that, and there was no covering over it to prevent it. But besides that, I love how the console looks. I love the purple on it, and I love how it lights up. It lights up blue, and has little LEDs under each console, because when you put a game in it, let's say I put a Game Boy game in it, like it will flash all around when it's reading, and once it finishes reading it, it will stay flat. It will stay lit under the Game Boy Advance logo, and I think that's really cool. But the thing I wish they didn't have, the controller slot in the back. But I guess it's good they included it, because look at this thing. This thing is terrible, and it's probably going to be staying in this little slot for the rest of its life. I thought that people online were being really not hypocritical. I thought they were just being really harsh on the controller, just because it's not an NES controller or anything like it. I thought they were just being really obnoxious towards it. They weren't giving it a chance. But after I've held it in my hand, it is terrible. The buttons, I wish they didn't have this little click in there, but it's not that bad. Like, I would have been able to live with that. But this D-pad, this 8-way D-pad thing, I hate it. I wish that they would have gone with a sealed D-pad or a plus D-pad like everything else. See, it's not even like a combination of the two. Like, I would understand if they maybe just did the Nintendo one, or just did the Sega Genesis one, or something that related somewhat to the console that I played, but it doesn't really do any of that. I personally never use this. I connected it just to make sure it worked out of the box, just to make sure nothing that I bought was broken. But besides that, it's mainly stayed in this drawer thingy. But besides that, I love the console. The first day I had it, I had a lot of issues with it though. Sorry. The first day I had it, I had a lot of issues because I didn't update it yet. When I got it, it sat in the store for like a year. What it was traveled around or whatever. It's been out for like a year, so it doesn't have the latest update on it. And a lot of things have changed since the latest update. But since a lot of the problems haven't been fixed before the update, I was stuck with all of them. First of all, it kept on freezing on certain games, and certain games wouldn't even play. You know, certain games like this game, Greatest Heavyweights. I love this game. I don't got a big collection of games just because I haven't started collecting that much, because of course I wanted to get something to play it first before I started collecting for it. But this game, it would load up and everything. It would get to where I can select my character. I select my characters. It goes into the match and after everybody does a little trash talk, it would freeze up and it would go out of the game. And it would freeze a lot. Let's say I was playing Mario. Oh yeah, I had Mario. I was trying to remember what I bought Mario. But I got Mario Brothers, and I would get to a certain part, it was always at random, and then it would freeze, and I would have to turn it off and turn it back on. And eventually, like that first day, I was ready to take it back, but I decided to give it a chance. I was going to call not Retron, I was going to call Hyperkin, and I was going to get it sorted out. And the people were very helpful, and they walked me through, because I wasn't sure how to do. They told me what to do. They sent me a email with a link that sent me to the newest firmware and everything. And all I had to do was download not the firmware, download the update, switch it onto the SD card, take it out of my computer, put it in there, and as soon as I put it in there, it would detect it, and it would ask me if I wanted to update it. And after that it worked fine. I've had no issues whatsoever, and everything's been just great with it. And the coolest thing I think about the retron is I don't have another cartridge to test if it will work, but I'm pretty sure it will. See, I didn't want to try it before the update just because it was already buggy. I wasn't sure if it was going to work, and I didn't want to mess up any of my games. But now that it's updated, I took a chance and I tried it. See, the thing is, you can put a cartridge in it that has a save, like this game. Let's say I got this game. This game isn't in the greatest condition, but it plays. Let's say I wanted to get a new cartridge, but I didn't want to restart all my save progress. I put it in here. I save the data. I save it on the retron, and then I take it out and put another cartridge in, and it'll ask me if I want to save back onto the cartridge. Well, and it will save everything back on there. This is how I tested it. I got the game. I This is a big risk for me. I put all my data on here, and then I went on the cartridge. I deleted everything. Then I put it in here and transferred it back on there, and sure enough, it worked, and I was really happy. Mostly because I didn't have to restart or anything. But there is some issues so far. This might not be an issue for my retron, but I heard that other people had a problem with it. Um, a game called Dino Ricky. I did have it. I got it from Gaming Saints. It was $5. I got it and didn't want to play. When I called them to ask for the update, they said that they'd been having issues with that game. So it wasn't like it was only me. There was like I'm not sure if there's anything wrong with the cartridge, but other people have been having the same issue and they want to play for them. So I took it back, and the game store was the game exchange was very helpful, and they let me switch it out for another one, even though there was nothing wrong with the cartridge. But besides that, everything is great. This game might not be the problem, but this is a knockoff Pokemon game, and I didn't really care enough to put it on the big screen, but it would be kind of cool if I could, if I wanted to. But when I was testing it out, I put this in there, and it would read the cartridge, but it wouldn't say that it's Pokemon Emerald. It wouldn't, it would say that it's a I forgot what it said. It says that it's a messed up cartridge or something, or it can't, it doesn't pull up the name of the cartridge. It just says it can't. I forgot what it said, but when it would start after that. It would ask me, okay, I know I can't read this game properly, but would you still want to start it? And it would, but when you get to it, it says that all your data has been corrupted, and it has deleted. The first time I did that, because this was the first game I tested, just because it's my favorite game that I have. So as soon as I heard that, I panicked a little bit. I took it out and I put it back in my DS Lite, and all of them was on. All my games was on there. The console just not wanting to read it. So, but luckily enough, I thought about a genius way that would work out to my advantage. Let's say I wanted one of my friends to try out Pokemon Emerald, but if you play Pokemon Emerald or any of the Pokemon games, that you can't save 2 games on it. You can only save 1. So this would be a good way for me to let someone try it. Second of all, before the update, this game was messing up, and I haven't tested exactly all my cartridges yet, but I tested a good amount of them. This game didn't want to work, but now it does, luckily. It's not like the biggest problem if it didn't work, because I don't play this game enough for it to be an issue. And all the other games worked fine. They transferred the data fine. Just one of these games was having issues. This game, Monster Rancher Explorer. I play the game a lot. I just forget the name. Oh, dropped it. But this game, like before the update, I would want I would put in like the first time I put it in there, read everything fine. But then when some of the other games wasn't wanting to work right, I decided to erase everything and like restart the console and try again and try everything again. And the second time, this game wasn't wanting to be read at all of the data and everything. And eventually, I got it worked out, and it wanted to work after the update and all my progress and everything. Like it wasn't the biggest deal. I'm probably just still gotta play it on my Game Boy. Sorry, my Game Boy Color anyway. But just saying that was an issue at first, and in case anybody else runs into the same issue. And every other game worked fine, but I don't like playing Game Boy. Like if I already have it, see, I already got this for the other consoles like Famicom, NES, SNES, and Genesis, just because I don't have these and they can play the Japanese version, and because I think it would be cheaper than getting all of them, and it's a lot easier to hook up. Only other problem I can say is like it has kind of worn off a little bit, but some of these games, grip a lot. This game, this Genesis port has stopped being as grippy as it was, but it was still an issue when I just got it. And the NES one was the worst. Sometimes when I pull it out, it has a weird crackling sound in there that I'm not a fan of. I'm not sure if it just because I've never had any NES for myself. My aunt has had one, and that's why I wanted to try it. I wanted to start getting into collecting for it. But I think the only big problem for it was the Super Nintendo one. Like every other one is a little bit harder, but it works eventually. And I will say that I hate these things, these little things that cover the point. I wish they somehow attached it to the point in a way. Like I kind of wish they had like little doors like this maybe, or like little thing that slides on them. I like the idea of keeping dust and everything out of the point, but I don't like how they did it. The first few hours I had this, I almost lost all these. Well, at least I thought I did, but I found them all eventually. This one is just out just because I had one, but I would advise you if you're gonna get this to get a real controller. I was at Palestine, Texas, and they don't have as good customer service at their game exchange. There's only one guy that was really rude, but he kind of put the whole place down to me. But I did find some good stuff up there. I got this is not the one, but I got one NES controller up there for $6. The one I got didn't want to work, so I took it back to my game exchange, and they hooked me up with this one. And this one works fine. And secondly, I got this one really cheap. It was $5. Only thing is, I broke this, not them. I accidentally dropped it, and it started breaking around here. I want to find a way to fix it. If like it wasn't that much. Like if I spent like $20 on this, and then I accidentally broke it, I would be a lot madder. But I not, since I just didn't spend that much money on it. And I got this. I think I spent $4 on it. It's a Super Nintendo controller. The buttons weren't fine at first. The D-pad was a little bit stiff. It's an off-brand one, but it works fine for now. I just wanted to stock up on controller just because I heard I didn't have the retron before I went down there, but when I went down there, I was gonna stock up. I planned to buy it afterwards when I got back. So I stocked up on some things that I thought I would need. And I like this controller. Eventually, the D-pad loosened up. It was used, and I think I got it for pretty cheap. And and here's a Genesis controller. I actually bought this in my town, Denton, and it's only a 3-button, but I just needed something cheap because this was a fancy controller I bought. I just bought it just in case I didn't find any down there. I bought it for $6. It's just like something to start off with for me. I wasn't sure if I was gonna find any up there, and it works fine. Only thing is, I never had a Genesis, and I never realized how big the controller is, and to me, it's just a little bit uncomfortable for me. I guess I'm just not a Genesis fan. I'm not sure if this is just like a bigger controller, just for like bigger handed people, but I feel like they might have had different sizes. And also, when I was down there, I got this controller, this fight pad for the SNES. This I really like this for some reason. I'm not certain. I'm pretty certain someone just put that on there, but I really want to do that with my other controller. This little Velcro thing to hold the wires together. But I got this for $5 up there, and I thought there was gonna be something wrong with it or something defective, but it works fine. It has turbo switches for each of the buttons. It has turbo or it has an auto fire one, and it's like, oh, I love it. And the back is metal, which you don't find a lot, and you'd think it would be a little bit more expensive, but luckily it wasn't. And I also found this Genesis one for yeah, I think it was around the same price. I bought it, but it works fine. It works really good. It has a slow motion switch. Only thing is, it's all plastic, but it has suction cups and everything, which I like that. And I don't use this one as much as the Super Nintendo, because for some reason when I was in there, I completely like I had in my mind that I was gonna get the retron, but I just kind of forgot some of the things it can do. I almost forgot that you can use the same controllers for each of them. Like you can use the Super Nintendo controller for the Sega Genesis game. But either way, I'm still glad I bought it just because they're gonna be expensive, and I plan to buy one next time I come down there. Just because I plan to buy a controller every time I come down there until I have a good bit of them, or at least a game or something. But I really like it. It has turbo switches. It has player one, player two. Only thing is, I'm kind of a loner, so I only use player one because I don't share my games. And I got a little bit more time left. I want to show you some of the another thing I bought up there that I really love. I bought Clax. It's a well, not Super Nintendo, an NES game, but it's a different NES game. It's one of the Atari made NES game. See, Atari made NES games for a little bit. They made them unlicensed and everything. See, NES games, they have a chip in there that makes it warrant that tells the NES that, oh yeah, this is a real card. And somehow Atari managed to make their own chip that interacted with Nintendo and kind of like cheated the system a little bit. But eventually they got into some legal issue, and they didn't and they sorry, my mind's kind of going blank. They got some legal issues and they weren't allowed to sell them anymore. So it makes them a little bit more rare, and I just think it's kind of cool because of all the history behind it. They have these up there for this one was $7, and I was really glad to get it for so cheap. And it's a fun game, Clax. If you have never played it, it's a I it's one of those games that you match four of the same colors, and then it disappears, and it's kind of hard to explain, but it's really fun. And so I'm kind of showing you some of my games for now. I'm gonna use the last bit of my time to show you the games I have. Plus, I got Super Mario and Duck Hunt. Only thing is, it has someone's name written on the back of it. I got it for $7. I wanted to get the regular Mario Bros. Just because I wanted to play it. I'm not really a collector that cares about like if it's special edition or if it I don't care about all that as long as it plays and see this, for example, this is a knockoff Pokemon. I don't really care. I don't care whatsoever. I just care that it plays. See, this is $5 and I'm almost halfway through it, so what do I care? And also got this is a game I got just to test out the SNES port on my Retron. It is called Zoop. It is a very fun game. You hit it's kind of hard to explain. There's different color things. It's a shooter game, but they come from all four directions. See, if you shoot a red thing, if you shoot a red cube thing, or I forgot what they are, but if you shoot a red one, then with that one you can take out all the red ones, and if you shoot a blue one, you can take out your ship turns to blue, and you can shoot out all blue ones. And the goal is not to let them get too close. And it's very fun. I got it for $2. It's really cheap, so it's fun enough for the price. And sorry. And I got a few Sega Genesis games. It's like I had another one, but I forgot where I put it. Well, I'll probably remember which one it is. Okay, I got and they'd sell them. I got this one just because it had a box and it was $1.95. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I did, but it was really fun, even though I'm not that good at it. I got Frogger down here at Fifth Stop, and who doesn't like Frogger? I got Terminator. It's just only thing is a lot more fun with the light gun. I got it mostly because it had the box. I'm not sure why. I just kind of like how old they are and that they still come with boxes sometimes for apparently cheap. And I got Royal Rumble, and also got that Warren heavyweight yeah Warren heavyweight game, but forgot where I put it. I just had it. Well, I sold you people already. I sold you that one. But this game, I also got this one. I got this one earlier today. Well, I think it was actually late, well, earlier yesterday maybe. But I got it. It was pretty cheap, and it was pretty fun. It has only thing is it doesn't have the best selection of character. Only thing is, I'm pretty sure that's just because I'm not the generation it was made for. It has Macho Man Randy Savage, I have a Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels. Trying to think of everybody else. I'm just thinking of the main characters that I remember from it. As I'm sorry, I don't remember their name, but it has a lot of good characters, and I think it has the Undertaker in there too. I think pretty sure it has Razor Ramon, and sorry I forgot to name dude. I forgot this guy's name, but I got a good collection of games so far. I didn't collect as many games as I should just because I knew I had a good collection of Game Boy games and Game Boy Advance, so I would have something to play and something to start off with. But thanks for listening, guys. I do recommend the Retron 5 as long as you have Wi-Fi to update it. And if you want to get into retro games and you don't have all the, I know that some games look a lot worse nowadays than they used to. So if you want to get into retro games, but you don't want to go through all the hassle of buying all the consoles and find a way to hook them up, I do highly suggest you pick one up. And they're one they're 150 new, but only I like around there. Like I'm not sure if it's exactly 150, but I do know that if you bought a Nintendo, which is $40, and an SNES, which is $60, that's almost the price point right there. So I think you'll make up. I think it's gonna be worth the price. Plus, you can play the Japanese equivalent games. But thanks, guys. Please comment, subscribe, and leave likes. And see you next time.